How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and with Blue Protocol on the horizon, we are getting closer and closer to that dreaded MMORPG choice. What class do I play? So today we're going to take a look at that, as well as a poll that I did on Reddit that got a lot of votes. So we're going to go ahead and see what people are thinking, what kind of classes they're going to play, and we're going to introduce them a little bit here. So let's go ahead and dive right into that. First up, we have the classes themselves. We have 5 classes playable in total. The first is going to be the Blade Warden, and I know that these names are going to be a bit unfamiliar for some of you that maybe have played in the test, but these are the official global names. So the Blade Warden is the first one. He is a sword shield fighter, a bit of a tank with some support ability, and actually the theme with a lot of these classes is most of them are self-sustainable, so they all have some sort of way to keep themselves healthy and up in the battle. So we're getting a little bit different away from traditional class roles, which is interesting to see. I want to kind of see how that plays out in the big multiplayer environment, but we'll see how it goes in. But anyways, if you're a big fan of the sword and shield and you are looking to block a lot of attacks, dish out some powerful damage, and support your allies and heal them, this is very nice. The mechanics for this is good because you're going to have blocking and dodging mechanics, which are going to share separate resources, so you're going to be able to be very healthy and sustainable, especially for solo content. The next class that we have is the Twin Striker. This is going to be focused on building up a bit of meters and dishing out a ton of damage. If you are a big, aggressive melee player, this is going to be the class for you. As you can see, the twin axes here, which can definitely be very aggressive in their playstyle. I heard a little bit of feedback from this in the beta, and it says that maybe they need some shape up. It seems like they struggle a little bit to maintain that distance and not get interrupted while doing their combos, but we'll see how it plays out at the end. The next up, we have the Keen Strider, which is a very odd named class, but this is a supporting class. Essentially, it is a bow archer as well as a healer, so it has some powerful moves. And I know some people say that this is a very odd class to play, but I think that with its ultimate ability being some sort of mechanic that pulls enemies together, we may see a lot of this class in high-level play, I think, to group up a bunch of enemies and then just kind of nuke them down. So for me, I think that this class looks very cool aesthetically, and I like the idea of a ranged archer healer. It's definitely a bit of a mix-up from what we've seen in more traditional MMOs. Following that, we have the Spell Weaver, a very popular class. This is going to be focused on dealing damage, but channeling spells in order to do so. So you're going to have to find that distance, that space, and that timing to cast these spells. But if you do manage to do that, you can increase the chain combo meter by a lot, which is an important mechanic in this game that will help you deal damage, as well as dish out a ton of DPS. Not to mention, a lot of the magic effects look really cool, and we have a lot of very flashy abilities for this class, so I'm sure it's going to be really high up there on the playlist. And finally, we have the Foe Breaker in a bit of an odd position. This is supposed to be a off-tanking class, so sort of a secondary tank. They have moments where they can sort of get in and fill that tank role temporarily, so that's going to be very interesting to see how it's played. I'm just guessing, due to the role archetype, that we're not going to see this class be super popular in general, because it's going to be a niche sort of level for certain players. But as you can see, you have this sort of like floating ball on a like hammer. It's kind of like a magnetic ball here, but it's used as a hammer. So they focus on dealing very big, sturdy attacks and getting a lot of melee damage, and of course that temporary like tank mode. But you got this sort of like magnetic charge mechanic with your hammer, so it's very interesting to see. So now that we have taken a very brief and temporary look at classes on a surface level, let's go ahead and talk about the network tests that are coming up and what kind of classes we can expect people to be playing. What is the most popular? That is going to be the question, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a Reddit post that I made, which got a lot of votes, so it should give you a good idea with a sample size of about 1,000. But I'm also going to link in the description down below a community voting poll on my channel, so you can go ahead and check that out, vote for your favorite class, and let us know what you're going to be playing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the Reddit post. Alright, and here we have the Reddit post itself. I asked a very simple question with the JP network test coming up in the middle of March. What class are you looking forward to playing the most? And we got about 1,000+ votes here, which is a pretty good sample size. Do take it with a grain of salt because obviously this is not the entire community, it's just a small fraction, but 1,000 votes is still 1,000 votes, so it's going to be a decent representation of how the class diversity is going to appear within the game. So here we have a lot of votes for Spellweaver, Spellweaver being the most popular class voted on here, 366 votes, which is quite a bit. A lot of people are aiming for that caster with the high DPS, and they definitely have seen it do big damage in the alpha and beta tests. And if you want to scroll in the comments down below, you can see tons of people talking about the game and their experience from the alpha and beta. This will be a great place to get an idea of how the classes are interacting currently in the game. As well as that, make sure to check out the post from my YouTube community as well. Vote on your favorite class there and discuss the game as well. Let us know how you thought of the other classes during the alpha and beta. But in second place here, we have the Blade Warden. In third place, we have the Twin Striker. Third and fourth, finally, the Keen Strider, and lastly, the Foe Breaker. So this is pretty much as predicted. We knew that the Foe Breaker would probably be a niche pick as a off-tank class, but Blade Warden being in second doesn't surprise me at all. It seems to have a lot of tools to get the job done. You're very tanky, you can heal, you can block, you can have an extra dodge mechanic. Like, there's all kinds of good resources there for you to be very self-sustainable, and then some of the other DPS classes falling off on the wayside. So this is very interesting. Personally, before I made this post, I was going to play Blade Warden. Still gonna say the same. I do love tanks in this game, and I think that this game's mechanics has a very nice niche for the tank archetype. I think it's going to play out very well within the game. But let me know what you guys are thinking about playing here. Does these results change your opinion at all whatsoever? Let me know. I'm very interested to see. So I just wanted to bring you this information to give you an idea of what's sort of been going on within the community, what people are thinking of certain classes, and give you a better idea on what you may want to play in the beta test of this game, as well as going into the launch of the actual product. So keep in mind that the first beta test coming up is going to be the JP beta test in the middle of March, and after that we are waiting on some announcements from Amazon and the global side of things, so hopefully we'll get some of those soon and we can get in and start playing this amazing anime MMORPG. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for your time and watching it. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed the content, and we will see you in the next one.